Welcome to the We Talk Sports podcast number 15. You may notice that we are looking especially dapper tonight, and that is because we have a lot of important things to talk about, and nobody talks more important than we do on this podcast. So, I would like to note things off, first of all, in the realm of college football, if we may, Gerald.
Yes, sir.
So we watched number 4 Florida just absolutely collapse to TAM in the last seconds, 41-38, took a fat L. Then we had North Carolina, who is currently number 8, one ahead of State, prove why they are number 8, and they ding-donged Virginia Tech by 11 points, ranked 19 again.
If I can add to these updated scores right now, currently with 2:45 left in the fourth quarter,
got Georgia up 44-21 on Tennessee.
Well, they are number 3.
Well, Georgia is a great football team. I've always said Georgia is a perennial. I've always said. I've never said on this podcast, so I can't back that up. But
right,
Georgia is the football team to watch out for, and they are leading in their ranked matchup against Tennessee right now. And as we said, 44-21. Notably, we have 2 big-time boots from the top 25. And we had Mizzou beat LSU 45-41 on the number 17 ranked LSU, which means you're gone. If you're number 17 and you lose to an unranked team,
out.
Boom, you're
automatically out.
Yeah, that's it. You're gone. You don't even have a number by your name anymore. Then we had Oklahoma, previously unranked, because they got dropped after being Owen. Wait, who's Owen? Do you know who Owen is? Oh, wait. Owen 2. Yeah. Boom. Oklahoma bounced the Longhorns. Texas at Austin. The Hook'em. Out. Boom. Get them out of here. They're not ranked anymore. That's what's happening. If you're ranked 22 and you lose to an unranked team, you're out. If you're 17 and you lose to an unranked team, get them out. Get them out.
That might, depending on where Oklahoma is ranked, they might just switch places with Texas.
Big time prediction before the Sunday Standard comes out. I believe that Oklahoma will be ranked 24 coming up. I'm putting this out there. I think that this win puts them back in at least ranked position. They're 100% out of the conversation for any kind of championship, any repeat. But for the defending champions, they're back in. They're back in the rankings.
Right. Yeah.
We still have yet to see. Right now, Arkansas is down 6 from Auburn, ranked 13, 21-27, with 10 minutes left in the fourth. And Tennessee, Georgia has already spelled itself out, as we mentioned, 21-24, Georgia leading. Gerald, do you have any thoughts on how these guys look?
Again, like you said, we live in a time where getting hot at the end of the season is no longer almost a shoo-in way to get into the championship games or into the higher-ranked bowl games. We live in a committee situation where the committee looks at your entire season, and they look at every single game you play, every single score line, every single stat line, and they do their best to find the actual best 4 teams in college football, at least for the moment, 4 teams in college football, to be part of the college football playoff. And I think they've done a pretty reasonable, pretty good job, actually, of doing that. I think it's now 5 years that they've been in place.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
5 or 6.
Somewhere around 5 or 6 years. They've done a pretty good job of picking the actual 4 best teams. And the reason,
except for in 2016 when they didn't pick Penn State, even though they won the Big Ten championship.
I mean, but they lost the head-to-head versus.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
I mean, we're not saying the committee.
We beat Ohio State head-to-head in 2016
in the championship game.
No, in a regular season game, we beat Wisconsin head-to-head in the championship game. It's
Right.
East versus West. We beat Ohio State. We beat Wisconsin to get the trophy, and then exclude.
No. That wasn't the year you guys beat Ohio State head to head.
No, it was 2016.
No. That was I thought that was the year that Ohio State beat Michigan on rivalry week.
No,
which meant that it opened the way for Penn State to win the East and then make it to the championship game.
No, it was the blocked field goal in Beaver Stadium, which Penn State blocked the field goal, Marcus Allen, and ran it back yard for 7 points. That was the same year. 2016. Count on it. I promise you, I was at the game. 2016.
All right, I'll take your word for it. That being said, you got to look at everything else here also. We also have the marquee matchups later tonight.
Oh, goodness.
All three of them. We have number 2 Alabama versus Ole Miss, sure to be a surefire primetime worthy matchup. Florida State versus number 5 Notre Dame.
And then number 7 Miami versus number 1 Clemson. I'm ready for Penn State to move up to number 8 because at this point, somebody dropping.
I mean, that's fair to say, but who do you think is going to win that game, number 1 or number 7?
Very easily Clemson. No, very easily Clemson. And I think it's
you don't think Miami? I think Miami has Miami. If there's one thing they're proven to me in the last few years, they're getting their spunk back. They're getting their.
Oh, don't say that.
What would you prefer, moxie?
Yeah, that's a much better word.
Okay, they're getting their moxie back as an organization, as a program, and really they're starting to shine bright like the Miamis of the '90s, like of the U and maybe the U Part 2.
I agree, and I will every single day say the U. Go U. I'm a big Miami guy. I'm a supporter. I like the program that they have going on, but it's Clemson. You're not beating Trevor Lawrence. He is the next, quote-unquote, Peyton Manning. You're not beating him. You're not beating him.
I don't like comparing.
This guy is a 6'5" horse. When he's in the pocket, he dominates. There's no reason to assume that. Oh yeah, Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, no, he's gonna have a bad game. There's no such thing. It doesn't exist for him. He doesn't know how to have a bad game. Trevor Lawrence, and I'm taking the over on whatever it is. Let me double check.
The over on that matchup.
Right now, Clemson is favored by 14.5 points, which is a bad, bettors score. Yeah. But I've got them by 2 touchdowns and a field goal. The over is 60. I 100% take the over. If right now you are watching this live, take the over. You need that. 60 points, that's a 40-21. You've got it.
Especially with those two programs. They're score happy. They might have really good offenses, but I don't know about the defenses. Although Miami is known for their interceptions, their secondary seems to be very, very much a steadfast corner of the program.
Well, they've got the turnover chain, but you also have to remember, you know what Clemson has?
A quarterback that doesn't throw interceptions?
Nope.
Championship.
That's it. Clemson, under Trevor Lawrence, has a chip. You can't ignore that. LSU, everybody.
They've had two in the last 4 years, right? 2 in the last 4 or 5.
I think 1.
No, I thought they beat Alabama 1 year.
Yeah, and that's all they got.
No, they got another one.
It must have been 2015, or no, it wasn't 16. And
no, 15. No. 15 was the first year, and that was Ohio State over Oregon. Gosh, remember when Oregon was a force to be reckoned with? What happened to that?
Robert Griffin. Oh no, he went to Baylor.
Okay,
here we go. I'm putting this for real. Yeah, Clemson won in 2016. Alabama won in 17. Roll fucking Tide. And Clemson won again in 2018 before LSU's victory in 2019. And that's as the CFP started, Ohio State won the first one. And I want to put this out here live. Any viewers who are watching this and are uncertain of my opinion in college football, without any uncertain terms, fuck Ohio State. Gerald here, for some reason, is an Ohio State fan.
Yes, I am.
I just want to take a minute out of my day to say, fuck Ohio State. Fuck J.K. Dobbins. Fuck everything that Urban Meyer has ever stood for. And whoever their head coach is now, fuck him too. But honestly, it comes down to one very, very simple thing. Fuck Ohio State. That's it. That was my whole thing.
That's your whole thing. You don't have anything more to grab onto.
I don't need to. Everybody who watches football is like,
knows that Ohio State is a better program.
Damn, that's crazy, because when's the last time they won over Penn State in a Big Ten championship or in a marquee matchup? 3 years ago? 3 years ago?
When's the last time Penn State won a championship?
We won the Big Ten championship in 2016.
I meant a national championship.
Under the GOAT Joe Pa in the 90s, baby.
How many years ago was that? Have you won into the 2000s?
Nah.
No. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
But we chilling.
You chilling. All right. That's fine. That's fine. But anyway.
We won in 86 with the GOAT lineup. You know, there's always a Marcus Allen on the Penn State team, but it don't matter. Ohio State sucks. We hate them. Well, they don't suck. It's like my dad was at a ball game one time, and some guy went, "Ricky Henderson, you suck." And it's like, well, you're just wrong. Ricky Henderson is one of the best players ever. How are you going to say he sucks?
Well,
I'm not going to say Ohio State. Right. I'm not going to say Ohio State sucks, but I hate Ohio State. For the same reason that I hate, or didn't hate right now, but hated that dominant era New England Patriots, is, you know what? They win, but is it respectable? Nah. So there's a hate. It's also the reason I hate, beautiful segue, the Houston Astros, because you don't get a chip without cheating and scumming your way up to the top and then cheating your way in the World Series to get a World Series win. I don't believe it. So my segue here, Gerald, we have the AL and NLCS picture painted for us. We have Dodgers versus Braves and Rays versus Astros. What are your predictions at this point?
Because I don't like the Astros, I want the Rays to win. But part of me also wants the Astros to win just so they can get hammered in the World Series by the Dodgers, because the Dodgers are winning the NLCS. Dodgers are winning the NLCS. There's no doubt about it. I don't know if you can see in my background, I put up some lights behind the map. They're in Dodger blue right now.
Pantone 251, baby.
There you go.
I keep talking on your train of thought.
Yeah. But yeah, Dodgers, I don't know how many years a row this is, but they are continuing to be the dominant team of
Four
the National
out of the
League.
last 5 years we have gone to the NLCS.
There you go.
I say
And honestly,
because what else are you going to do?
Exactly. But once you consider everything with how good the Rays are playing, I think actually the Rays might finally make it back to a World Series. And again, they're going to lose to another NL team, probably 4-1, if that.
I was very upset that the Marlins lost, because the Marlins previously were undefeated in their postseason history. I think the Marlins were a very great team that had absolutely nobody on it. But I'll tell you what this is the year for. Give me a sec. You know whose year this is?
You're like leaning forward too much.
Oh, this.
There you go.
Mookie
Betts.
Mookie Betts. the GOAT. This man single-handedly pulled up and was like, hey, yo, y'all want to go to a World Series again? Let's do it. Mookie Betts is the man in charge. Did you see the Game 3 of the Dodgers-Padres?
I did not see Game 3. No.
Tatis whacked one, deep center. Cody went back, leaped up and robbed Tatis of a dinger. It was the most beautiful NL West sight for any Dodger fan. Seeing that is like, yeah, Tatis Jr., yeah, you've been cool. You've had your minute, but hold my beer. You're going to get knocked. I think as you were saying, I want the Rays to win, but I don't see it happening. Actually, that's wrong. I think the Rays are just going to clean sweep the Astros because the Astros don't belong there. In the regular season, they didn't belong there. And in the postseason, they don't belong here. They had a mad, easy people. Who did they face? Like, not a real baseball team. I don't believe that the Astros deserve to face the Dodgers in the World Series. And I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I also need to think there's still a series left before we get to the show. And the Braves have proven to be a good team. I mean, they have one of the best defensive lineups that you could get.
Is Nick Markakis still there?
Yeah. As much as I would love Nick Markakis to get a chip, Kershaw needs his chip. That's what it is. MVP, twice Cy Young, the GOAT. What else needs to be said?
Don't you have 3 MVPs on your team?
Yeah, right now. We've got Mookie Betts, which I'm repping right now, CK, and Cody Bellinger. 3 MVPs. And you know who needs a chip? Kersh. This man might end up being the Greg Maddux of our era, which by Greg Maddux, I mean the greatest pitcher of all time. Because nobody is pulled out and been like, you know what? I don't care about strikeouts or whatever. I'm just going to hose you. That's Greg Maddux. Aside from closers, I mean, Mo is 100% the best pitcher of all time.
Right.
But starting pitcher, I'm giving it to Greg Maddux. That's my guy. Dude threw less walks than he did ball. Or man didn't walk anybody. He didn't do anything except for a strikeout. He was a machine. Greg Maddux, GOAT. Kershaw needs his ring. Astros need to lose. That's all I'm saying.
Well, again, it's going to be interesting. I think I'm going to finally have more time. I've been busy this week. I was given an extra employment opportunity since my employment with the census is now officially ended. My division has been decommissioned, but I am still working at a private educational institution, and I was subbing in for a teacher this week, so that was, busy. So I didn't get to watch as much sports as I would have liked, but this week I'm free and clear again, so I can watch all the games I want.
What is I would believe viewers might be mourning PJ's absence from this episode, but do not be worried. We will talk about how the Yankees absolutely shit the bed and just broke down. So, did you get a chance to watch the game, Gerald?
Game 5, I did not.
I was very occupied watching, which we'll talk about later, the Game 5
of the NBA Finals. I saw the last
finals.
I saw the last quarter of that game.
We will talk about that after we talk about the Yanks. But the Yankees were up 1-0, and then they were tied 1-1, and then they surrendered a deep set. Well, and I need to put this out there. In the words of PJ, which he would reiterate, it was a Gardy party because Brett Gardner, full extension, robbed a ball out of left field. A nice snag. However, it wasn't enough. There was a Rays monster dinger to straight center in the ninth, and it just the Yanks couldn't do anything about it. I mean, you had young Carlos Stanton who just stared at a fastball down the middle and backed up from one, a strike slightly inside. That was your ball game. As soon as young Carlos Stanton was going up to bat, there was a ball that was barely, like it was, well, it wasn't barely, it was in the strike zone, but inside, and he went back. Like, dude, swing.
Right. And that guy, it's not like that guy is. It's not like that guy is stranger to hitting high balls that are high and in for home runs. He's used to that.
That's his like bread and butter.
Right.
Everybody likes the down and away. That's what Cody Bellinger, dude. That was Sammy Sosa's whole career. It's down and away, yard, and you just golf it. That literally was Sammy Sosa's entire career. Is a down and away, taking it yard.
Right, exactly.
If anybody has any problems, I'm on the Sammy Sosa hate train. We hate Sammy Sosa on this podcast.
We say we very loosely here.
It's me. I hate Sammy Sosa.
There you go.
On this podcast.
I don't hate. I just dislike him, but hate is a strong word for me. But anyway, for you definitely hate Sammy Sosa.
No. Hate is also a strong word for me, but I hate Sammy Sosa. Yeah, he ruined the game of baseball. Him and Mark McGwire are the reason Barry Bonds never got in the Hall of Fame.
Well,
even though the greatest baseball player of all time is not in the Hall of Fame, I think that's weird.
Barry Lamar Bonds.
Barry Lamar Bonds, the true GOAT. I also want to mention the Yankees lost in unfortunate fashion on the day that Whitey Ford passed away. One of the best players one of the best baseball players we've seen in a long time.
Definitely.
But
yeah,
there's not a GOAT conversation, but there are. I mean, number retired. What else you want to have?
You remember? I don't know if anybody who watches this has ever watched our politics podcast, but if you watched us a few weeks back, where we said, like, we told everybody to stop asking how much worse 2020 could get because it keeps on going. Because along with Whitey Ford yesterday, a few days before that, Eddie Van Halen tragically lost his life after a battle with cancer that he kept really private.
Yeah.
But one of the greatest guitarists, arguably the greatest guitarist of all time.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. But
arguably.
I don't even know if it's arguable.
Okay.
But an excellent musician. I mean, Van Halen. If you've never heard a Van Halen song in your life, then you need to. And if you have, you've experienced Van Halen. And that was him. So having this loss is just, there's nothing you can do about it. It's Van Halen. That's what it is. You know what? For Van Halen, here's to you, Eddie. And here's to you, Whitey Ford.
This is a disclaimer. If you are younger than 21, please do not drink alcohol.
Yeah, don't drink if you're underage. It's a bad thing.
Yeah.
So I want to move on to I want to continue baseball for a second. Who do you want to see in the World Series? And who do you want to see and who do you think will make it?
Okay. Who I want to see. I want to see the Dodgers, and I want to see them sweep the Astros.
I was thinking the same thing.
Right. But how do I think it might shake out? I don't think the Braves, as good of a team that they are, I think they might stretch the series. It could go Game 6, Game 7 against the Dodgers, but I think the Dodgers are going to come out on top. And then
7-game series for NLCS.
Yes, 7 game. So, and then I think in the American League, honestly, I just think the Rays have gained all the momentum in the world. They just beat the Yankees. They did. And say what you want about it. Oh, they weren't a good team this season. Oh, they had injuries. They only just got in because of this, that, and the other. Doesn't matter. You still just beat the Yankees in the postseason. So now you're riding high when
the
you shut
big
down
time
that
Yankees,
team. There you
who
go.
should have been the first seed.
They were for a little while. But in any case,
they pooped the bed and ended up as the 5th.
Right. Oh, also, let me just pull this up just for a second. I need to just show you something.
Is it the postseason map?
It's not the postseason map. It's just a picture that I need to share with everybody here.
Oh, and then also, if you may, put the postseason map in after.
There you go. Can you see this?
We hate Joey Lasagna. That's my picture that I sent, and we hate Joey Lasagna in this house. By this house, I mean my private residence where it's only me and my fat boy cat. Fat boy. It's only me and the cat. We hate Joey Lasagna. But I agree with you. You know, I would love to see, because I genuinely believe that in a 3-game series, you can't really, like, a 3-game series is like wild card, is you don't really get it. But this is what we have right now. I see, and I don't want to get cocky, so I'm going to knock on wood. Dodgers over the Brewers, or not Brewers, Braves. Dodgers over Braves, 100%. I see it. We have a better squad. We have a deeper rotation, a better starting pitching lineup. That's what we have.
And 3 MVPs.
And 3 MVPs. One of them, Moogie Betts. New acquisition. We're going to the show. We're going to the biggest show on grass. In the AL, it's a little more complicated because Tampa is riding this massive high. But Houston is also, they always say, act like you've been there before. And they have. The same team has been there before. But
questionably.
But they don't have JV. They don't have Verlander.
Right.
I do not see the Houston Astros, as much as I want the Dodgers revenge tour to happen. Houston is not making it to the World Series. It is Tampa Bay. And then in the World Series, 4-0. That's all it is. Walker Buehler versus Blake Snell. Clayton Kershaw versus who? Then we play our third road and our fourth road. And no, we play Kershaw again on night 4. Playoff Kersh is primo this season. I don't see Houston making it to the series, as unfortunate as it is. We wanted on this podcast, and we wished and willed that we'd have the true 2018 matchup that we deserved in Dodgers-Yanks.
But we almost deserved that in 2017, if we're being honest.
I mean, yeah. But the Red Sox were the Red Sox did also maybe cheat. So, all I'm saying is the Yankees, they fell apart. They blew up. And whoever, it's, again, knock on wood, I see my team getting a chip this season. And if we don't, this is going to be, you know how the Buffalo Bills are a joke because they lost 4 straight Super Bowls?
Right.
We are the next Buffalo Bills. 2 straight World Series and then 1 after a gap year.
But if you think about it, the Braves of the 90s were almost like that. Almost exactly like that, but they ended up getting that one.
I also want to put this up there. As I said, my GOAT pitcher ever, Greg Maddux, was on that squad. Greg Maddux, a monster. If you don't know about Greg Maddux and you're a viewer, just go on his baseball reference and let it speak for itself. So we have the Los Angeles Dodgers, who look like the best team they've had yet and the deepest rotation they've had yet. A.J. Pollock, who looked like a bust last year, is now slugging for the most home runs on the team and was in contention for the home run race. Right? We have that guy. We have, former MVP Mookie Betts, current reigning MVP Cody. I don't think anybody, I think maybe Mookie might be in the race for NL MVP, but it's hard to even dish it out at this point.
Yeah. If I can
we've got Kirsch, who is the only pitcher in the last 25 years who has been an MVP. At very least, 25. The last pitcher who's been an MVP. That guy can pitch. And I think the Dodgers squad looks deeper than ever. And rocking that Nike on the uni, Dodgers getting it done. Dodgers in 4.
I mean, if I can just say, I do believe if Dodgers make it to the World Series, they're going to win. No matter who they play against, whether it be the Rays or the Astros, they're going to win the World Series if they make it there. I really think they're going to make it there. And I think this will be a rewriting of what people say, some critics, some harsh critics say about Clayton Kershaw, saying that he's not clutch in the postseason.
Bullocks.
Is that he always choked. Well, now we know that the reason that happened against the Astros was because they decided
knew
to
what
use
was coming.
A few extra cameras. So, I think this is going to be just good. Honestly, I'll be honest, this is one of the first times. No. This is the second time in the last 10 years that I remember that I will go for the NL team in the World Series. No, never mind. Hold on. Third time. I'm usually a loyalist.
Dodgers, and Dodgers.
Yeah. I'm usually a loyalist to the American League, and I have been when the Royals beat the Orioles in the 2014 season in the ALCS when they swept us. Even though like everyone was embittered and everything, it's like, oh, I'm gonna go for the Giants because they're orange and they didn't beat the Orioles. I'm just like I'm too much of an American League guy, and I've almost always gone for the American League team in the World Series. Now the exception was in 2017 because I didn't feel like watching the Red Sox win again. That was
the Dodgers Red Sox.
Yeah. In 2019, when the rest of my family was going for the Astros again, I'm like, no, I'm going for DC because I'm here in DC basically.
Nah.
A temporary agreement for me to push aside my somewhat
also a temporary lapse in judgment.
Did I win?
Well, whoever you rooted for won.
There you go.
I'm on the big side of, divisional things. My friend, I have a friend, Spencer. His parents, as I was wearing this actually, I need to courtesy this Dodgers jersey, this Mookie Betts, this very fine jersey that I have was bought as a birthday present by my Giants fan friend, and I wore it to his house to hang out. And as I was leaving, his parents said, "Go Padres," because this was on like Monday,
right?
This was on Tuesday, and on purpose rooting for the Padres. Well, they got 3-0'd. They got, as Mookie Betts would do,
spank.
That's it. Easy. He stands up after he hits a double, and that's it. Little rotation in here. Boom. Mookie Betts is a game changer. This man is giving us a chip, and he's giving himself a second one. I do thoroughly believe by the end of his 13-year tenure with the Dodgers, this man will have 2 rings by the end of October. 2 rings, and by the end of his entirety in LA, he got 4 rings. Mookie Betts is going to make a case for being one of the greatest players of all time. I'm not saying the GOAT because that only goes to one man, Barry Lamar. That's the GOAT.
Okay. All right. Here's
I'm sorry. Wait. Give me 1 sec. You can talk. Give me 1 sec.
All right. I'm going to preface this while he's walking away for the moment. I'm going to ask him a question about, he says Mookie Betts is going to be one of the greatest players of all time. I'm going to ask him if he's greater than one of the other players in the American League, who is definitely considered one of the greatest players of all time. Definitely a league loyalist and all that. But also, we just need to think about a bunch of different factors when it comes to who actually is the best player. And now that you're back, Corey, let me ask you
This is the best player of all time.
Barry Bonds.
Wrong way. Barry Lamar Bonds, San Francisco Giants, should be in the Hall of Fame, but because people hate him because he quote unquote used steroids, which never tested positive, it don't matter.
Listen,
this is my greatest. I'm donning it. I'm doing it over a Dodgers jersey. Wait, what the?
I want the viewers to know the possible irony of someone who is a staunch Dodgers fan wearing a Mookie Betts jersey, putting on a Barry Lamar Bonds Giants jersey.
Well, there's a reason, and it's because Mookie Betts right now is the second best player in the MLB, like skill-wise. Only to, and I might buy the jersey, of Mike Trout. But when it comes to who is the true GOAT, there's only one answer. And Barry Lamar is the answer. Barry Bonds.
All right. I have a question.
I have an answer.
All right. By the end of their careers,
sure,
who is going to be remembered as a better baseball player? Mike Trout or Mookie Betts?
Mike Trout, by far.
Mike Trout by far. Not even no hesitation, no quality.
Absolutely not. As soon as you said the name Mike Trout, it's him. Mike Trout right now has Mickey Mantle WAR. His wins above replacement are that of Mickey Mantle when he was that young. It's Ted Williams before the WAR, before he got drafted and left the MLB. If Mike Trout keeps playing, it's Mike Trout being the best baseball player of all time. If Mike seriously, if Mike Trout keeps up what he's keeping up, Mike Trout all day. I'm big time on Mike Trout.
All right, so Mike Trout or Barry Bonds?
Right now or ever?
Ever.
Well, if anybody hits 762 home runs, then I'd like to see it happen. If anybody's in the fight, no. Albert Pujols has 600. I believe he's in the 600s. Or the 700s now. No, he's not in the 700s. That would mean he would have broken A-Rods, and that was on our trivia. Unless Mike Trout hits 500 home runs and steals 500 bases, and unless he hits 762, then Mike Trout is not the best baseball player of all time.
All right, yeah.
I understand the aspect of hitting. I have very different opinions on different parts of ball players. The best hitter ever is Ichiro. That is the best hitter. Like when I'm talking about getting a hit, that's Ichiro Suzuki.
What was his on-base percentage?
It had to be like 400. I'm going to go to Baseball Reference and just look up Ichiro. So give me 1 second.
By the way, let me fill a little space here. Albert Pujols is the current leader among active players.
What do you have?
662. 662.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So his on-base percentage career is 355, and his OPS is 757. But a 355 on-base percentage is ridiculous. Ichiro Suzuki, and this is also only in the MLB. This is not counting his Japan years. He also is a 10-time All-Star and an MVP, a 10-time Gold Glove, 3-time Silver Slugger, 2-time batting title. Ichiro is the best hitter. I'm not saying slugger, the best hitter of all time. He hits the ball and he gets on first. That's all you can ask of anybody. Now, Barry Lamar, as a Dodgers fan over a Mookie Betts jersey, I'm wearing my Bonds jersey right here. The best slugger, the best batter, not hitter, the best batter, the guy you want there when you need it, Barry Lamar. Barry Lamar Bonds is all you need for that. Now, pitcher, I love Greg Maddux. I'm a weirdly big Greg Maddux fan. I love Sandy Koufax. He's a Dodger. He's great. But best pitcher, Mariano Rivera. That's it. More men have walked on the moon than have scored on Mo in the postseason. Seriously. Take a second. More people have been on the moon than have actually touched home plate against Mo in the postseason. And he's got hold on, let me look this up. I want to tell you how many rings he has. Mariano Rivera has 5 chips. He goes like this, and he's got his whole hand blinged out. He has 5 rings, and more people have walked on the moon than have scored on him at this date, which is 10/10/2020, which is actually a very cool date.
It is.
But I think hitter, batter, and pitcher are better. The best base runner, easy, Ricky. As I was saying, somebody said, "Boo, Ricky Henderson, you suck." Well, he doesn't. He doesn't. He's the best base runner ever by very, very far. Ricky is the best base runner. Barry Lamar Bonds is the best hitter, and Barry Lamar is the best batter, and Ichiro is the best hitter. And right. I don't have any, thing against that. I think that everything I had to say is perfectly reasonable.
I would agree with you, yeah. If we can move on, we also need to touch on, we are going to have a Game 6 in the NBA Finals, ladies and gentlemen. Something that I personally didn't think we were going to have.
I thought honestly it was Lakers and foe.
No, I had them. I knew the Heat were going to win at least one, but I thought it was only going to be one.
Well, we talked about it on this podcast, and you said Lakers in 5, and I said, you know what? I'm going bold, Lakers and foe. And they did not make it Lakers in foe.
Or Lakers in 5. Now it's got to be.
Or Lakers in 5. Currently updating, just to put this out there, with the first quarter kicking off, there's 5 minutes in, and Ole Miss leads number 2 ranked Bama 7-0. So
I think, if I can be honest, Bama's on its way down from the pedestal it once had.
I 100% am with you.
Bama's no longer the king of college football. It is now King Clemson, but the best conference is the Big Ten. The most competitive conference is the Big Ten.
Before we move on to NBA, I need to make this known. I'm taking off my watch for this because I need to get comfy. The Big Ten is not the best conference. The SEC is and has been the best conference. However, the Big Ten looks goddamn good according to last year. And Alabama doesn't have a leader at QB1. Like we've had different.
Honest, they've never been the biggest QB organization. They've been a running back kind of
running back
run it up the gut.
They've been an O-line. Well, the issue that you're going at here is they have a running back thing. They have an offensive line organization, and all they do is they get the O-lineman, and then anybody else has free time. It's like Tom Brady on the Patriots is I get to sit back here for 8 seconds without even getting remotely touched. Okay, cool. Seems like I got time to run whatever route I want. And that's what it was. I think that, as you said, Alabama is on the downswing. I hate to say it, but I look at Clemson, and Clemson, this is the year. I don't think Clemson is the franchise of the future, but Clemson looks nice. They have Trevor Lawrence. They have a leader at quarterback. And when I say leader, I mean like Trevor Lawrence is weirdly Peyton Manning-like. And I know I toss around people being like Peyton Manning when I say Josh Allen plays like him. But Josh Allen, no, he's incredible. He plays like Andrew Luck. But Trevor Lawrence is Peyton Manning 2.0. That's what it is. I really like Clemson right now at this point in history. Do I think they're better than Alabama? 100%. But do I think they're the franchise of the future? No, not one bit. I think that your luck falls off.
That's all fair assumptions right there, honestly. But when it comes to, I think the reason SEC is just viewed as the best conference is just, we said this before, it is the sexiest conference to be in.
Yes, sir.
I mean, think about it. They got Bama, LSU, Ole Miss,
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. No, that's Big 12.
Oh, Oklahoma is Big 12. Georgia,
Florida State, Florida,
FSU, Florida,
Missouri, Missouri State. All these places, they've just have storied programs. It's a lot of good stuff coming out, and they generate some of the best players. I'll be honest, in that area just naturally. You know how the Northeast, the Mid Atlantic are like breeding grounds for excellent basketball players. Like,
yeah,
the best football players come from Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana.
Currently, the SEC has 6 ranked teams with, in order, Bama, Georgia, Florida, or I should say Florida, Auburn, Tennessee, and then TAM.
Well, TAM's going to go up. Tennessee's going to drop out.
Yes. Yeah. With the big I want to also report this here. Right now with, again, 10 minutes left in the first, Clemson is up on Miami 7-0. And the Bama Ole Miss game is tied up at 7 with 9:30 to go in the first.
It looks like it could be potentially a blowout for the number 1 Clemson over number 7
also,
Miami.
Hate to spell out my own destiny because as Penn State number 9 right now, we want to see every kind of ranked top 10 loss we can. And Florida State just gave up a touchdown to Notre Dame. Notre Dame ranked 5. And the score is 3-7. Notre Dame leading with 11 left in the first.
Is the Big Ten, are they playing yet?
No, the Big Ten starts in 2 weeks from now. Let me double check the exact date because, exactly 2 weeks from now, the 24th.
Okay, never mind.
Is the first game.
Out of the law of averages,
sure.
Big Ten can't be number 1 because they have Rutgers and Maryland in it too.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
There's no reason why Maryland is a college football team.
It's not a college football powerhouse, and I don't think it ever has been. They won the national championship in 60-something?
When they were in the SEC against a weak division, and there was only white people playing football.
Right. That being said, they are very competitive, almost perennial second place favorites for basketball, and you also have to consider their accomplishments in other, let's say, non-Big Four sports like lacrosse, and I don't even know how they do in field hockey, if that's nationally ranked system or not, but Maryland has good athletics, just not football. They have soccer championships. They have, I believe, they have a softball championship. They have lacrosse championships. Swimming, I know they've had swimming championships before as well.
I would like to put this out here that we are officially 3 weeks out from the last time that Penn State played against Maryland. And Maryland, if you're not educated on this topic, Maryland canceled their classes and made a blackout because they said this is going to be the new rivalry is Penn State versus Maryland. They canceled their classes on a Friday to have the game on Saturday. Maryland ended up losing 59-0 against Penn State. At Maryland. It has been over 1,200 days since Maryland has last scored a touchdown against Penn State. And that is every single year they play. Maryland sucks at football. And putting this in something, Rutgers, you're not even a real place, dude. I don't know what a Rutger is. I know it's in New Jersey, allegedly, but I have never heard a person who goes, yeah, I went to Rutgers. I don't believe it. I think it's a conspiracy. Every time they play anybody in football, I don't know how they're not 0-12. Hey, wait, Gerald, do you know Owen? Because Rutgers does. They know 0-10.
Oh my God.
Rutgers, if you're watching this and you're a Rutgers fan, I'm sorry, but you suck. Not even just the team. You. I'm sorry that you are a fan of a team that is dookie doo-doo. Rutgers, to the president of Rutgers, if this gets around, why? Why? Why do you exist? Why are you trying to play football? You play as well as middle schoolers on a soccer field, dude. Come on. You're better than that. Well, you're not better than that.
No. That's giving a little. You're kind of undercutting some of the soccer players in Columbia, Maryland, with that.
It's Rutgers is nothing. Maryland wins their first 2 games every season and then goes, this is our year. And then it gets bonked by any actual good team in the Big Ten.
Playoffs?
Playoffs? Oh, that's my guy. That's in. Where's my Peyton Manning jersey?
Jim Mora.
Love Jim Mora. The GOAT. Actually, not the GOAT. He didn't do anything for us.
I was about to say, playoff. You talk about playoffs?
Speaking about playoffs, I would like to bring this up. And we're going to transition slightly to the National Football League before we actually start talking about the NBA, because we didn't really actually get to that. Right. But I would like you to know, Gerald, that the Dallas Cowboys have a greater chance of making the playoffs than the undefeated Seahawks. What are your thoughts on the NFC least, you're a fan of one of those teams that cumulatively has 3 wins?
Well,
we can't call them the Skins anymore, so the football team, if you put that in perspective.
The Foots. That seems appropriate. The
Balls.
I mean, I know it looks bad because it does look bad. Like, what are we, 1-3, 2-3?
The Balls, as I'm going to call them, are 1-3.
They're 1-3. That's already better than last season.
The team leading the division is 1-2-1.
We're only a half game back from first.
Yes, unfortunately.
Well, I don't know. I have no words for it. Listen, I'm stuck with this team. I've considered switching, but I can't bring myself to do it. I've sat through the 4-12 season. I've sat through the 3-16 season. Then I sat through last season, which was like 2-14. I'm sorry, did I say 3-16? I meant 3-13. And now last season was, I believe, 2-12 or something along those lines. It was
13.
It was 3-13. All right, because we did win that one extra game. But anyway, I've sat through all of that and I've thought, do I do I even care anymore about this team? And unfortunately, I found that I have. Um, and I feel that everyone in the division feels the same way about their respective team. I mean, just ask PJ about the Giants. I
Mm.
thought the Giants were going to win the division this year and actually make a deep run, but then, unfortunately, very, very unfortunately, actually, Saquon Barkley suffered a season-ending ACL tear.
If I had time, I would go grab my state Saquon jersey and put it
Uh,
over the Barry Bonds, so I have 3 jerseys on.
let's not. I think you're good with the two. Um, but yeah, so that's the Giants, and then Philadelphia. They hate their team anyway. They just do. That's
Yeah,
just Philadelphia. So they're not happy about it. And then Dallas has been the perennial. I'll call them what uh what someone called the Orioles once.
the
The
perennial losers.
No, the perennial swine flu of the league. They get exciting at one point, and then all of a sudden they die. That's about it. I mean, they make it to the playoffs, but they never win past the first round unless they have help from the referees. Um, remember that whole flag debacle with the against the Detroit Lions and everything.
Don't remind me.
Yeah, but in any case, they. I'll be honest. They don't deserve. They don't deserve to go to play. They don't deserve that automatic playoff spot, but it's there anyway. So, I mean, whoever wins the division, I mean, someone could win the division 8-8. If we're being on, or no, 8-7-1 if it's the Eagles,
Yeah,
and that's how they end up. But
or 7-8-1 at the way, or even like 5-10-1 at the way that this is rounding up.
yeah, this division is just absolutely dreadful.
There's a reason it's called the NFC least.
I remember one time a commentator once called it. He's like, "Who do you think is the SEC of the NFL?" And they said the NFC East, and I'm like, "You are high
Yeah,
and drunk.
you are on something.
You are
I
on crack."
My takeaways from the NFL so far are I am very, very low on any team in the NFC. The Dallas Cowboys looked like they were doing something. Rest in peace. And
Yeah.
also rest in peace, that division. They looked like they were gearing up to do something, and no team has stepped up. No team has 2 wins, and it's week 4. It's going into week 5. The Ravens are not playing as well as expected.
But I feel like the Ravens. I listen to a lot of the Baltimore sports radio. I feel like the Ravens are on the cusp of just really just breaking. They for some reason the Ravens they always take a long time to break into their season, but once they break in, they're good. So I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just something isn't clicking, or maybe even the preseason would have actually helped them this season.
Well, I want to put this out there. In the last 5 seasons, the Ravens are undefeated in the preseason. So that's a fun little thing to remember. But
Okay, real quick. I'm
I
just
think.
gonna
Go ahead.
no. Say your last thought, and then I'm gonna do one more thing after.
I was gonna say this might be the only year that I genuinely remember the AFC being the better conference. Like you have the Chiefs, which are the Chiefs. The Colts, my Colts, look really, really good. We have the number 1 ranked defense. We got Philly Rivs on offense. We got the Goats. Everybody just playing.
Deshaun Watson for the Texans
Sucks. He knows Owen. Yeah, 0-4. He knows Owen.
He's doing good this season. What I'm saying.
The Steelers are great right now. We don't know why. Nobody can figure it out. The Steelers look great. The Ravens look great. The Raiders, that's a football team. That's real. And then my mortal lock for the Super Bowl, and I'm putting this in there. The Buffalo Bills are going to the Super Bowl. Mortal lock. Call me out on this if I'm wrong. but it's the Bills' season. You got Josh Allen. That's a stud. That is, as I said before, that's the next Andrew Luck guy. He played as well. He plays every season as well as Andrew Luck did when he was like young and not retired. This guy is the real deal. I think he has the most fortitude and the most talent in the future pool of NFL. Bada bing. You got it on there. Bills will go to Super Bowl. That's what it is. I like Lamar Jackson. I think he's too reckless. Josh Allen is a horse. That man is a stud. Josh Allen, it don't matter. Josh Allen pulling up. He doing something. Bills, Super Bowl bound. I'm telling you, the Bills are getting their trophy. They went 4 years in a row. They went 4 years in a row, and they didn't win jack donkey. But this is it. Josh Allen.
This is a hot take. This is a hot take. Bills to the Super Bowl. I still think the Ravens are due for their Super Bowl appearance after a little while.
They're getting ding dong by Josh Allen.
I don't think so. I think it's going to be a well fought game, and I think they might just pull one out like they do whenever they go to the Super Bowl, except for that year in 2001.
And also in 2019 when they got ding donged on by the Texans or the Titans.
Well, who would have? I don't think they took the Titans seriously, and I think that was their downfall, honestly.
I don't think the Ravens have any semblance of veteran leadership on their team.
They do with the defense.
When it comes to the offensive side of the ball.
Okay, that's true.
And I think that's their downfall is they have – who's leading them? 25, 24-year-old Lamar Jackson. And that's it. The Bills, they don't get that act like you've been there before because none of them have. So they play to prove themselves. And I like it. I love the ball play style. I would love to see my Colts go to the Super Bowl and win with Philly Rivers and justify why 100% he is a Hall of Famer. Philip Rivers, by the way, needs to be in the Hall of Fame. This guy is top 5 in every passing category. Philip Rivers, excellent. But I don't think we're getting past the Bills. The Buffalo Bills, they have Tre'Davious White on defense and Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs on offense. You're not beating them.
That's fair. Okay, and I just want to do one more thing, and then we can move on to the NBA. I'm going to read off the games for this season, this week in the NFL. I want you to give me who's going to win.
Sure.
Just want quick fire. All right.
If I call them all right, then whoever watches this needs to give me $5.
That's fair. All right, here we go. All right, obviously, the beginning of week 5 already happened. The Bucks lost to the Bears because Tom Brady forgot how to count to 4. But we'll get to that on another day. Jaguars at Texans.
Texans, they're pulling out one more.
All right. Bengals at Ravens.
Ravens. Mortal lock. Put all your money on it.
All right. Panthers at Falcons.
Panthers.
Raiders at Chiefs.
Chiefs. Easy.
Okay. Cardinals at Jets.
Cardinals. The Jets are ding-dong doo-doo.
Yes, they are. Eagles at Steelers.
Eagles, actually. In the words of their song, Fly, Eagles Fly, on the road to victory. I'm self-proclaimed, unfortunately, a Flyers fan. So I believe Eagles has this week. They're doing it. They're doing something.
Okay. All right. That's interesting. Now we can go next to Rams versus Washington.
Rams. Easy.
Yeah.
The football team is ding-dong.
Dolphins at 49ers.
Niners.
Okay. Giants at Cowboys.
This is the thing. I think the Giants are taking it. I actually do. I do.
And that's a 4:05. That's a 4:25 game as well. It's not a 1 p.m. It's a 4:25 game. So that's
I really think, as it still says Bills to go to the Super Bowl, I'm calling out the false New York team. There's only one team that plays in New York, guys, and it's the one who's going to the Super Bowl.
All right.
Next game.
Colts at Browns.
Colts, easy.
Okay. Sunday night matchup, Vikings at Seahawks.
I'm taking Vikes. I'm taking them.
Okay.
Yes, spicy. I know. The Seahawks look good, but I love Kirk Cousins. I think that he knows how to sling the ball enough. I think the Vikings are taking
Cousins.
Kirk. It's not Kurt.
I know. Tell the Washington football team that.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I have the Vikings. I do. I really do.
And Monday Night Football, barring any scheduling conflicts.
Buffalo Bills. Mortal lock.
That's not the Buffalo Bills.
No, that's Tuesday. That's Tuesday night. What's the Monday night game?
Broncos at Patriots.
Pats. And then Tuesday night, I've got the Bills.
Oh, no, yeah. Hold on. Wait. There's still more of Week 5 on Monday. There's a bunch of games on Monday, actually.
Yeah. They got rescheduled.
Okay, there's 3 games on Monday. So at 5 p.m. on Monday afternoon is Broncos at Pats.
Yeah, Broncos. I called Pats. Yep.
Okay. And at 7 o'clock p.m., Bills at Titans.
Yeah, Bills. Easy.
Okay, and then the last game.
And I'm telling you, the Bills are winning in a landslide. The Titans are nothing.
All right.
And then we have Tuesday Night Football.
Yeah, and then after that, Monday. No, it's still Monday at 8:15.
No, there's a Tuesday. Oh, wait, hold on. Did they reschedule?
Oh, the Bills are on Tuesday. The Bills are on Tuesday.
Yeah. That's what I was saying.
Right. Sorry. And the last Monday game is at
8:15
p.m. Chargers at Saints.
Drew Brees, future Hall of Famer, he taking the win. No question. So if you happen to watch this podcast in 3 days and know what happened, and then find out that I was 100% right, because I will be, then let me know, please. I also, because I will next podcast. So right now, there have been many, we believe, or I believe specifically, that PJ, our co-host on this podcast, is afraid of the promises that he delivered the last times that we have talked on text messaging. So this guy said, let me get this up real quick. So for every run that the Yankees scored on Monday, he would take a shot on podcast live for it. The Yanks scored 10 runs. And then he said, if Giancarlo Stanton hits a grand salami, I will do the deed. And the deed was, I said, eat 10 Burger King chicken nuggets on the stream. And he hit the dinger. So PJ right now is in debt of 10 shots and 10 nugs live.
I have also decided to accompany him by saying, no, not in the nugs, but in the essence of food, because I don't know if you've noticed, this podcast loves food. I have decided to eat a $5 Grande Stacker box live on air from Taco Bell.
We're going to have to make like a Wednesday podcast for just eating food.
I go to church that day.
All right, well, don't go to church and make the podcast. No, I just want to put this out there. Anybody who is a PJ Dolan supporter, who I'm sorry for the Yanks being yonked from the postseason, and I'm equally as sorry as the Giants are ding dong doo doo in the actual football thing. But
and then there's the Knicks.
Yeah, we don't talk about the Knicks, dude. Only PJ talks about the Knicks. I want to make an update before we start to sign off. Right now, Clemson still leads.
Wait.
Wait.
We can't sign off yet.
No,
we got to talk about Jimmy Butler.
Oh, mama, there go that man. Jimmy Butler, in case you guys have not been watching the NBA Finals, is a madman on the court. This guy put up the only third player to ever do it, 40-point triple-double in NBA Finals history, only being Jerry West, King James, and also now Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is a madman. The Heat are now down 3-2. I boldly predicted Cavs in foe, and by that I mean LeBron James in 4. But we have something else, and I'm going to put this up here because I am supporting the Lakers through their LA endeavors. It says,
I can't read those words. Hold on, let me solo.
No, you can.
Solo. Fuck Duncan Robinson. All my homies hate Duncan Robinson.
We hate Duncan Robinson in this house, bro. And that also goes along with the Yankees meme that I have.
Fuck Gary Sanchez.
All my homies hate Gary Sanchez, which also goes along with my other Yankees meme.
Fuck Joey Lasagna. All my homies
hate Joey Lasagna. I'm sorry, PJ, that you're a Yankees fan, and I'm sorry that they lost. But going back real quick to the NBA, the Heat put on a show, an absolute performance.
Befitting
in that Game 5.
Befitting of an NBA Finals game. Absolutely.
It honestly, on solo cam, if I may, I'm gonna scoot up. This is one of the best finals games I've seen, aside from 2016 Game 7 with LeBron James. Chased down by James. Block on Iguodala. We have that going on right now. Is LeBron James versus Andre Iguodala. We have that. This game was incredible. If it weren't for Danny Green, and it's more like Danny not green because he don't green any of them shots. Danny Green he's decent regularly, but he didn't come in clutch. AD, I was very scared when Anthony Davis got hurt in that lineup. But LeBron James, he's a different breed. I have the Lakers taking the next game tomorrow on Sunday. That's my mortal lock. I've said this a couple times. That is, I would put my house down on this.
You don't have a house.
I put my rent on this.
Okay, there you go. All that being said, yeah, I still think the Lakers are going to win. The only thing is they try to make it symbolic, and I understand what the Lakers were trying to do, and they had the confidence, and they had every chance to try to win this game last night, wearing the Black Mamba jerseys.
Undefeated in those jerseys prior to last night.
But
4-0.
Yeah. I was watching at the end. Those last 60 seconds of game time were an interesting.
You saw the last 3 seconds where Danny Green just bricked it, and then Marquise Morris passed
and he was open. And he was open.
Danny Green had a wide open 3. Hey, buddy, your job is to shoot. Hold on, give me a sec. Like literally 1 second. Okay. So your job is to take this, a Spalding NBA regulation basketball, right? This is what they use.
Right.
Your job is to take this and drain it. That's it. I understand how, missing happens sometimes. But your only job on the team, you're a role player. You're Danny Green, dude. You don't get starting minutes. You hang out, and you're a three-point specialist. Ball comes to you, crunch time. You need to make a shot, and you almost airball it. And then Marquise Morris just, he just pulls up. It's ridiculous. That team choked. There's only 2 guys who belong in the finals and have had finals experience on that team. Dwight Howard has had finals experience. However, I'm talking Rajon Rondo and LeBron James. Those are the guys who are going to make the difference.
Is AD going to be a big factor in Game 6?
Without a doubt. AD is dropping 36.
36.
But I'm telling you right now, it is going to be like 128 to 100 Lakers. And LeBron is going off for 40. This is like Miami Heat, evil eyes type LeBron energy right now. LeBron is going to make the most of this. As I said before, mortal lock. Lakers in 6. Duncan Robinson, Dunkin' Donuts, Krispy Kreme, it don't matter.
What are you
6.
willing to wager?
In solitude with PJ, as an adult who is of legal age to do things, I will actually wager I'll take 5 shots if the Lakers lose the series because it'll be over by the time. Actually, no, I'm going to take 20 shots live on air if the Lakers lose the series.
No, absolutely not.
That's what I'm willing to do.
I can't condone that.
All right, then I'll do 10 with PJ that he owes for a Yanks Grand Slam. It is going to be next week. If you're catching this live, understand.
It's going to be an obscene amount of alcohol.
10 is all right. Here's the thing. I'm so confident. Lakers in 6. That's it. That's ball game. This is the last game they're playing. You know this thing? They know how to kind of shoot it a little bit. They just green. Everything that they do goes in. Like DeMar DeRozan. That's a Kyle lyric. Shout out. But Lakers in 6. And if they don't win the whole series, because the finals will be over by the next time we check in with you guys. But if they don't win the series, then first of all, they blew a 3-1 lead. And second of all, I'm taking 10 shots live on air. Sequential.
Okay, let's also think about if the Lakers lose.
Sure.
What is going to be the new chapter in the legacy of LeBron's book at that point?
Honestly, I think LeBron is in. I'm going to do a hot take here. LeBron James is the best playoff player ever. That's my hot take. You know, he might not have 6 rings in 6 tries without ever going to a Game 7, and he might not have 6 finals MVPs. But when you measure clutch shots, minutes played, and points scored in the postseason, he is far and away the best. He has more clutch shots in the postseason than like virtually any superstar today combined, and that's in the last 30 seconds of a finals game, or no, any postseason game, not finals. Excuse me. LeBron is the best postseason player. There's a reason why he's played on absolutely terrible teams and still made progress. Who is his best player? Well, at any one point, Kyrie, when he was on the Cavs. I know he had D Wade and Chris Bosh, but is Kyrie really that excellent? Is Kevin Love that great? No. LeBron James is the best postseason player ever. And it just goes on history. It goes on what he can do and what he has been doing. But to answer your question, if he loses this, then I think they run it back. I think AD right now is, I asked last week, what are AD's implications for, do you think he's leaving if they win or if they lose? And it was, he's leaving if they lose. They both want to check.
And where would he go?
New York Knicks. Knicks.
And does that mean if the Knicks get AD, will they also be able to lure Giannis in? Maybe.
They have space. They need to get rid of Julius Randle's weird contract, which will be easy. They just give it to the Wizards, dude. We don't care. We're in rebuild. No contract matters.
I'll be honest. I really thought the 76ers would amount to something by now. I really did. Like, I had hope for the 76ers. I had hope in the process.
Oh, my God. Dude, the 76ers are not good. I don't know how to put this that way. But, like, They have an excellent team, but Brett Brown led that team to awfulness, and now they got rid of him. I don't think that team is doing anything, man. That is a bad, bad basketball team. Imagine getting rid of Jimmy Butler and then being like, you know what? We're going to get rid of Jimmy Butler because he wants too much money. Wait, let's also give Tobias Harris a supermax contract. It doesn't make any sense. The 76ers are trying to self-destruct. But you have Ben Simmons, who is arguably the best, the most, well, no, not even arguably. He is the most physical point guard in the NBA, aside from LeBron James, who can do both. He's LeBron James miniature, but he can't shoot or do anything midi or long range. He's a worse LeBron. You got Toby Harris, who is a two-way just launch. He's a cannon. They still have Al Horford. No, he's on the Celtics now. You've got Joel Embiid. This man, Joel Embiid, is the third best, and I'll call it, center in the NBA. I put him behind the GOAT, Nikola Jokic, and the number 2, Anthony Davis, because he half splits his time playing at power forward. But Jokic is it. He's the real deal. But the 76ers, they just suck. Like, they win games, but they can't do anything. Like, what's wrong with them?
I'm not sure, man. It's but like I said, I thought the process was gonna come up clean. I thought they were gonna get far. I thought they were gonna at least see an Eastern Conference final at this point. But obviously, they just aren't that team. So,
I mean, they're really not it.
Yeah.
So
all that being said, we're excited for Game 6 of the NBA Finals. We really think both of us are in agreement. We think the Lakers are gonna win it, and that means they would now be the Lakers would now be tied as a franchise for most NBA titles in a franchise.
Wait, is this episode 16?
I have no clue. But they would be tied with the Boston Celtics, and I'll be interested to see how that ends up going. If LeBron wins his 4th, I believe his 5th is just around the corner, and I honestly believe by the end of his career, LeBron will have 6 rings.
I agree with you also. I think he's retiring with some actual jewelry.
Do you think he'll make 7? Do you think he'll push himself to that point?
I don't.
You think he'll settle with 6?
I think he's going to be too old. I don't see them three-peating.
You'll think he'll become a coach for a team just to say that he got 7?
100%. LeBron James has too much bad. I see LeBron, the only 2 players right now, or 3 players that I see right now who will be coaches 100% are Chris Paul, Rajon Rondo, and LeBron James. Because the former 2 are way too intelligent to not have a career in that. And LeBron James, dude, it's LBJ. He's going to coach his son. I'm calling this right now. He's going to be coaching LeBron James Jr.
But is he going to pull a Michael Jordan where he was a coach and say, you know what, you're not doing this. Let me play with you guys to actually teach you guys how to play.
Oh, with LeBron with the Lakers? Or not the Lakers. Michael Jordan with the Wizards?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Once he retires, he's retired.
Oh, my goodness. I have. What was the number last week? Because we're wrapping up the stream right now, and we're about to finish on our weekly segment. I believe we're on number 15.
No, we're not.
We're on 16.
We should be on 17.
17?
Yeah.
Well, we didn't cover 16 last time.
Yeah. Did we not?
All right. You know what? We're skipping 15 if we were on it. We're going to 16. I'm going to take MLB and what do you want? And then I'll take whatever's left.
I'll take NFL.
You're taking NFL? All All right, I'll take MLB and NBA. I'm going to start off with my NBA. So right now, for the best, excuse me, the best NBA player, I got Bob Lanier, 6'11", shoe size 22. This man, big dog. He don't know how not to play basketball. The big dog on the Knicks, or not the Knicks. He played for the Bucks and the Pistons. Big time baller. Don't know if he ever won a chip, but if you can find a better number 16 than Bob Lanier, then I'm all ears. Gerald.
For the NFL, there's only one answer, and there is no argument about who is the best player to ever wear number 16.
Wait, who wore number 16?
And that is a one and only San Francisco 49er and 1 year with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
Joe Montana. No quarterback in NFL history ever played better in clutch situations than Joe Montana. Through 11
wrong. Touchdown, Tom. 28-3. That's all I'm saying. 28-3.
That's fair.
And this.
That's fair. Okay, but still.
Yeah. So one other quarterback has done better.
One other quarterback, but still, who threw 11 touchdowns and posted 127.8 passer rating in 4 Super Bowls. He was named the MVP in 3 of those games and led a 92-yard game-winning drive in the final 3 minutes of one of those games. On the game when he didn't win the MVP, Montana was selected as the league's MVP in 1989 and 1990, and he overcame a career-threatening injury or career-threatening injuries in 1986 and 1990.
I'm going to end our segment on the best number 16, and we're skipping 15 for a reason if we didn't capture it last week. And it's because the MLB greatest player, number 16, if it were 15, I would have to give it to Beltran, but I think we already covered 15. I need to give it to, rest in peace, Whitey Ford. The great, the late Whitey Ford pulled up, I think, 11 World Series appearances and won 6 of them, even bagged an MVP, and had a sub-3 ERA in those starts, which he had, which is incredible. And I also want to recognize the fact when he retired, instead of being hailed as one of the greatest, he got pretzels thrown at him. People just yeeted just pretzels. They just threw them at him, like only pretzels. So I think it's kind of cool that he got hit with pretzels because that's one of the most delicious snacks. If you eat a pretzel, you need mustard on it, 100%.
Right.
But man got hit by pretzels and is still one of the greatest postseason pitchers of all time. So
I like cinnamon pretzels. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, you're wrong. I would like to say we're going to take a minute out of our podcast, or like 10 seconds, to say rest in peace, Whitey Ford. We're sorry the Yankees couldn't pull it off for you this year, but you're sincerely missed and had an incredible impact on the Yankees World Series history.
You're one of the greatest assets to the baseball community the world has ever seen.
Absolutely, without a doubt. And on that note, I've been Corey.
And I've been Gerald.
And we will see you next week.